And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session today, where in honor of World Brain Day, we'll be learning about Alzheimer's disease and memory and mind. And thank you so much for coming on. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Equity Program is owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for education purposes only. You should not rely on the info and any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. Make sure you keep your TVs and cell phones in mind. Make sure you take notes and or screenshots so you can review the session on our YouTube channel when it gets uploaded. So again, hello YouTube. And let's just, if you cannot hear me or see me on the screen, please let me know in the chat, and I would really appreciate that. All right, so getting right into it, this is our agenda for today. We're going to be learning about what is Alzheimer's disease and some resources that you can utilize. Again, I am not a doctor, so I cannot answer anything specifically, but because we're in DC with a vast amount of resources and organizations, make sure you utilize, of course, your primary care provider, but also the many organizations in DC that you can that help out with many different things. We'll be covering 3 apps today. So Mind Games, a brain training game, Crimo Stories, a puzzle and crime game, and then we'll be ending our session with some brain games, words and verbs. And last but not least, we'll have an overview and discussion. So we're just talking about how we felt about the session today, what you learned about Alzheimer's disease, and how you can use that knowledge to positively impact your life. So let's get into it. So what is Alzheimer's disease? And the navigation for our apps. So first up, I have a video for us, pretty simple. It's great to have a good foundation for anything in life. So first, let's learn, what is Alzheimer's disease? What actually is it? So thank you so much, and hope you learn something new.
Did you know that 1 in 3 older adults will die from Alzheimer's disease or another type of dementia? This disease has a tragic effect on many lives, and current research still can't fully explain it. However, scientists do know that there are many genetic, social, and environmental factors that influence a person's susceptibility to develop Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is one of the most common forms of dementia, a chronic disorder of mental processes caused by brain disease or injury and marked by memory disorders, personality changes, and impaired reasoning. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that leads to memory loss and cognitive decline, often preventing the affected individual from carrying out simple day-to-day tasks. People with Alzheimer's disease may experience mood changes, find it difficult to learn new information, and become unable to recognize friends and family. In a brain suffering from Alzheimer's disease, a large number of neurons die, resulting in tissue loss that can be seen on a brain scan. Some researchers believe that 2 protein complexes contribute to this widespread neuron death: neurofibrillary tangles and amyloid plaques. In a diseased brain, neurofibrillary tangles make it harder for neurons to receive nutrients and send signals to each other. The neurofibrillary tangles are composed of tau protein. In a healthy brain, tau protein forms microtubules, which are cell structures that transport nutrients and support the cytoskeleton. Meanwhile, amyloid plaques are made of a protein called beta amyloid, a part of the larger amyloid precursor protein. Beta amyloid is cut from amyloid precursor protein and degraded outside the cell. This process is facilitated by a polypoprotein E, or ApoE, which helps break down beta amyloid. The genome of any given individual can contain one of 3 isoforms, or variations of ApoE. Of these isoforms, ApoE4 is the least effective at cleaving beta amyloid. Beta amyloid accumulates due to its chemical stickiness, resulting in protein aggregates and plaque formation. These plaques damage neurons and lead to cell death. Having the ApoE4 gene is an example of a genetic risk factor. The expression of ApoE4 increases the likelihood of beta amyloid aggregates, thereby increasing the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Besides genetics, there are other factors that contribute to someone's susceptibility to Alzheimer's disease. There's a concept called reserve that relates life experiences like exercise, diet, and education with the prevalence of age-related brain changes and pathological changes like those observed in dementia and Alzheimer's disease. There is brain reserve, which refers to the physiological characteristics of the brain. Is it large or small? How many neurons and synapses are there? These are physical features that can affect pathology. Then there is cognitive reserve, which refers to the brain's ability to rewire itself and find alternative ways to perform a function if the original pathway is damaged. A person with a high cognitive reserve can cope better with brain damage than a person with low cognitive reserve. The concept of cognitive reserve has been linked to education and occupational attainment. Based on epidemiological studies, people with more education and greater occupational attainment are believed to have a higher cognitive reserve, and they have demonstrated reduced susceptibility to Alzheimer's disease. It's also believed that a high cognitive reserve can delay the onset of clinical pathology. So the cognitive symptoms of Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia will manifest when the pathology is more severe. However, it's been observed that patients with a high cognitive reserve have a more rapid decline in cognitive function when their brain can no longer tolerate the level of brain injury. Besides education, research shows a link between low socioeconomic status early in life and developing Alzheimer's disease later in life. Low-income populations in general have less access to health care and are more likely to have unhealthy lifestyle behaviors like smoking, unhealthy eating, and not exercising, all of which can contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease and other chronic diseases, such as obesity and diabetes. There are still a lot of unknown factors that can cause Alzheimer's disease. There are questions surrounding the effect of environmental toxins like metals and air pollution, the effect of the microbiome that coexists inside our bodies, and the role of the immune system. As scientists work to uncover the science behind Alzheimer's disease to develop a cure, a lot of research is also being invested into finding better ways to care for patients to ease the burden Alzheimer's disease has on them and their families.
Wow, I really enjoyed that video and I learned quite a bit. Just shared some thoughts in the chat. But yes, this video and our session also made me think of our session with Tori last week on brain health and nerves and just basically how our bodies are so connected to each other, right? And how the main things stay prevalent, where diet and exercise and good lifestyle habits lead to a better chance generally on not attaining Alzheimer's. So I thought that was very, very interesting and very, very telling. Any quick thoughts before our next video? You can unmute yourself, you guys. Any quick thoughts in the video, something new that you learned? Any thoughts? What something new that you learned?
I found it interesting, having dealt with family members with Alzheimer's. That gave you a little bit of background. If you've never dealt with it or been with someone who's had it, it gave you a little more, made it less scary.
Mm.
And it's interesting that your diet and your exercising, that those contribute to a poor diet, I'll say, and lack of exercise will contribute to getting the Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
because
surprised to hear that the social and economic and education made a difference.
You read my mind, Ms. Burnett. Because,
I need to go back to school.
Well, you are. You're in class right now, aren't you, Ms. Burnett?
Yeah, and I take every kind of class I can. I just left the nutrition class.
So yeah,
Mhm.
well, there you go, Miss Burnett. You're doing a lot of things to help fight that chance of getting Alzheimer's. So you
All righty.
keep doing that, okay?
Mhm.
And,
Yes.
and I find that if you exercise your mind in like word games or reading or puzzles and stuff, it makes you use your brain, and that helps out too.
Thank you for bringing that up, and because one point in the video is even those with a higher cognitive reserve, so that more education, more job opportunities, etc. Those with higher ones, they actually kind of lose them faster when they're not in use. So when people say about a muscle, their brains are muscles, use it or lose it. It's no matter what happened in life, if anyone stops learning, and that's why I love our life learning that we do here, and just being excited about new experiences, then that may have an impact on what happens with your brain. So um
And I know that the class that I was taking when I was helping to take care of somebody, um, it was I taught that person how to crochet, even though they didn't know what they were doing. And I found out that it helps
mhm.
to keep their mind occupied.
Yeah, because any activity that takes thoughtfulness and a plan, and just thinking of how you're going to do certain things, that those social engaging activities are again so important. So I appreciate you all coming on and for taking advantage of all the different resources here in DC. So thank you all so much.
Okay.
We're gonna take a look at this page right here. So some other symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. So we learned like forgetting someone, family members' names, or um, forgetting where things are, things of that nature. So there are quite some other symptoms as well of Alzheimer's that you may not know. So again, thank you all for your comments. Amazing. And I hope this helps yourself out, friend, family member, community member. If you notice something, if you see something, say something, and I hope our sessions are helpful in that regards. Okay. So the other symptoms of Alzheimer's. Let's see what's going on.
Neuropsychiatric symptoms, or NPS, are the mood and emotional symptoms of dementias and other brain diseases that are often overlooked and undertreated. They can have an enormous negative impact on the patient, their loved ones, and their caregivers. Different diseases or brain injuries produce different neuropsychiatric symptoms, depending on what part of the brain is impacted. In Alzheimer's disease, a slow, fatal disease of the brain, plaques and tangles accumulate in different parts of the brain, killing cells and leading to a wide range of symptoms. Neuropsychiatric symptoms.
Yeah, remember in the previous video, those neurons dying, those tau are not able to make those connections dying off. So I hope both of these videos are painting a bigger picture.
Symptoms are in addition to the memory loss and cognitive changes.
Even just looking at this stop right here in the video: lack of emotion, agitation, distraction, wandering, fear, disorientation, depression, social inappropriateness. Wow. Sundowning. I don't even know what that is, right? That's something new to learn. Paranoia, psychosis, agitation, sleep issues. Wow. Lots of things can go on.
That most people think of when they think of Alzheimer's. Because the disease is progressive, it will inevitably cause more and worse symptoms over time. Eventually, all patients will experience one or more neuropsychiatric symptoms. Neuropsychiatric symptoms are often the earliest sign of Alzheimer's disease, occurring even before a diagnosis. When combined with the early memory loss and cognitive changes, people with Alzheimer's can find that they have trouble managing finances, miss appointments, lose interest in things they previously enjoyed, jeopardize relationships with loved ones and family members, and even get themselves into dangerous situations. Without a diagnosis, these symptoms can be especially hard to understand and manage. Even after a diagnosis, the symptoms are often stigmatized and misunderstood. Depression is often the earliest observable symptom in Alzheimer's, impacting up to 40% of people with the disease. As the disease progresses, cognitive impairment can make it difficult to understand and express feelings of depression. It's important for loved ones to check in and watch for social isolation or withdrawal, changes in eating or sleep habits, agitation, fatigue, irritability, feelings of worthlessness or hopelessness, and thoughts of suicide, which can all be signs of depression. Agitation can cause pacing, sleeplessness, or even aggression, where the person lashes out verbally or physically. Apathy, or the lack of emotion or interest, usually manifests as a lack of motivation to participate in social activities and emotional indifference. Psychosis in Alzheimer's involves delusions and hallucinations. Delusions are false beliefs, like thinking that someone is stealing or hiding one's things, or that one's spouse is being unfaithful. Hallucinations are auditory or visual and can make a person believe that they are having a conversation with someone who isn't there, that bugs are crawling on their skin, or that some other impossible event is happening. Delusions and hallucinations can be terrifying for the person experiencing them and eventually cause them to distrust their caregivers and loved ones. These and other neuropsychiatric symptoms are scary, dangerous, and overwhelming for the patient and their loved ones. So difficult, in fact, that 46% of caregivers report that they placed their loved one in an institution when their behavior became too difficult to handle. But just when loved ones are deciding that they need help, care centers are known to turn Alzheimer's patients away because they are perceived to be difficult, combative, moody, and too much for them to handle. As the final straw, neuropsychiatric symptoms can also increase complications and speed up death. But they can be treated. It may be possible to treat the symptom itself, like depression, or to treat the cause, like malnutrition, infection, or side effects from medications. Behavioral interventions such as establishing routines, encouraging exercise, using light and music therapy, validating and reassuring, and making changes to environments can also help manage symptoms. For those that can't be managed with behavioral interventions alone, it can be helpful to turn to medications. It's critical that we start talking about these symptoms with our loved ones, at medical visits, and with advocates. We need to shake the stigma and recognize neuropsychiatric symptoms in Alzheimer's disease as a medical condition that can be treated to lessen the burden of an already devastating disease.
Wow, another interesting video, and I like the way that they spinned it and kind of shared and just kind of seeing the reality of those maybe living with Alzheimer's. Any quick thoughts on this video? I thought I saw a hand earlier, but this is a summary of the video as well. And you can unmute yourself and share.
They mentioned social inappropriateness. You know, my sister, who is 80, I think she's 89, has dementia. It's not Alzheimer's, but it's so closely related that I can give this example. But in terms of social inappropriateness, she's at a stage now where she wants to take her clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, they have to tell her, you know, things like my niece said that they told her, well, you know, your father wouldn't want you to take your clothes off. That's what ladies of the night do. You don't want to be that, do you? And she says, no, I don't want to be that. And then that they get her to put her clothes back on. But of course, she repeats the behavior later on. So yeah, social inappropriateness is one of the things they do.
Thank you for sharing that, Geraldine. I'm sorry that that they're experiencing that. Just really quick. Dementia is the broad term, so a decline in mental abilities, while Alzheimer's is a progressive, that is the most common cause of dementia. So Alzheimer's is specifically that. So I would, have them double check. When was the last time they, kind of went through that process of trying to figure out what was going on? Because if it's been a while and something like that's occurred, maybe just ask, hey, have you seen someone, or have you talked about it, or Has there any updates? So maybe I would maybe check in on that.
Okay, okay.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, my father's side of the family, it seemed like it runs on his side of the family. And he was like 97 years old. So they were saying he might not remember who you are. He never forgot me or my daughter. And he used to, be really, really busy. But most of his sisters and brothers, it's hereditary in our family.
So for the now for you and for future generations and just the video and for everyone on the call, like diet, exercise, making sure you get a good education, and just have a happy job. Not like, they said occupational attainment. I mean, yes, having a job and just doing something that you really enjoy in life that helps you support yourself and things of that nature, and just good lifestyle choices, and those things real help out now and for our future generations. So I would definitely let your family know that, and to so that way it doesn't have to be like that for eternity. You know what I'm saying?
Because most of them, that's what they died from, Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And stuff when they passed. But they wasn't completely out of it. I mean, he still.
No, it could have been maybe just as what we learned, maybe a kind of not as severe form of dementia. So that's why again in the video, especially economic status and not being access to healthcare, that's why it's so important to see doctor, primary care physician, and to let them know when like things like these happen, or
Oh no, he used to love to go to the doctor. He liked the
Mhm.
nurses.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just talking about in general. You have to see your doctor, and you have to let them know what's going on, even if it's something small. Just you might catch something early on, right? So
Yeah,
if you
he
think it's
loved going to see the doctors and the nurses. That was his break of the day.
yeah. So again, I hope this session so far has kind of validated your experience, and to know what to let your loved ones know to help not have this occur. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So you got this, Miss Doris. Thank you so much for sharing. Wow, that was a great video. Thank you so much, all. Again, I hope this helps out yourself, your friends, family, members, and thank you all. Our first app of the day is Mind Games Brain Training. So there's a great collection of games. So it's multiple in one. It's based in part on principles derived from cognitive tasks to help you practice different mental skills. So this app is intended to be brain challenging entertainment, right? So you're going to go to the App Store on your device. So again, you can also go on our daily email, and if you tap on the links here, so if I go to today's session, the first one, this is Mind Games. If you tap, it will take you straight to the App Store, to the app, so that way you can download. Okay, so make sure when you read our daily emails to tap on those links and check these out. Even before you have the session, right? But if you were to just go to the App Store regularly, and you would hit the search button at the top. So you have Today Games Apps Arcade, and then you have the magnifying glass. When you click on that again, the keyboard will come up, and you can type in your inquiry. So the name or type of app that you want to download. So this goes for anything, right? If I just typed in brain, I bet there's tons and tons and tons of the brain apps, or learning about the brain apps, things of that nature, right? So Mind Games Brain Training. Even here, look at all these other apps. The best brain games, IQ Boost, training brain games, peak brain training, brain games, left versus right, tricky puzzle. This one sounds pretty fun. Word Life, Brain Test 2, right? Lots of other apps to check out, but we're going to go to this one here, Mind Games Brain Training. It will say get on yours if you have not downloaded this app before. So make sure you hit the get, and then follow the prompts so that way you can download it. But I'm going to copy the link in the chat for you too. So that way you can instantly tap on the link and access it. So whatever you would like to do, our daily email, the link in the chat, go in the App Store and typing it in. There's so many ways to do the same thing, which I love on the iPad. So hope you all get to download and take advantage of this. But let's play it together. So let's get into it. This is what your app will look like when you download and open it. So make sure you follow any prompts that you see here on the screen. Okay, mind games, exercise your brain. Okay, so again, there may be an ad or two. So make sure, you look in, it's right here at the top right-hand side, that continue to app, that X, that fast forward button. Again, you may have an ad or two. It's, with the free app, right? It's free, so I, don't mind an ad or two, okay? So look, this app has games list, training center, learning, scores, other apps that you can take advantage of. So let's look at the training center. Games are chosen to maximize your progress. Okay, again, there may be an ad or two, but if you just want to look at all the different games list, so take a look at this. Lots of different games here. Okay, oops. Again, make sure you look for that fast forward, that X, okay? Try to find the apps that have the least amount of ads, but I like the variety here. So let's do memory match. We haven't done that in a while. Match two symbols and remember them. Okay, and look, they even tell you the skills and how to play. So match two symbols and remember them. Do not tap symbols you have already matched. The game will end after all symbols are matched or after you make 3 errors. So this is memory for completed tasks. Okay, so let's go ahead and play, but you all can unmute and yeah, let's see what we can do. So tap 2 matching images. So where
Okay,
where
I see 2.
okay,
Okay.
which ones?
Okay, at the bottom left, the bottom and the very left-hand corner. You see, okay, then go 1, 2, 3, the 4th one over. And that's a match.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. 2 matching images. Yes.
Oh, they change it up once you do.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Okay. I'll let somebody else go.
I see the second row on the end, and on the 1, 2, 3, 4th row, the second.
Okay. Yes, we have to remember the ones that we did before, so you don't do it again. I think that's how you play, right? But
okay. Yeah.
Go to the 3rd row. The 3rd 1, 2, 3, and the one right up underneath of that one.
okay, the 3rd one in the 3rd row, and then where's the one?
No, the first one and the one underneath of it on the. If you count 1, 2, 3, and then the one right up underneath of that one.
Oh.
No, you on the wrong row.
Yes. No.
Go to the top.
Okay, so the first row.
1, 2, 3. That one and the one right underneath of it.
Okay. Well, it's I see what you're saying, but it's giving me X, so I'm assuming.
Okay, so you have to go.
No, you got to go underneath of the other one. I don't know why you on the other side. Go right up.
Yes. So with this, so again, I'm learning this game. There's a lot of games. I'm learning this.
But what you have to do is you have to match the one that's on the 3rd row, 3rd end.
Yes,
now
the green
you
one.
have to match that.
Yes.
So
no,
go
I
all
didn't
the way
get the
down
GT.
to the right hand side. Go
yes,
all the way
I
down.
did that, but that was me, Miss Doris. So
yeah,
I picked
it's
that one
right
because I
below
didn't know
that
where
one.
you were thinking. So where's the third the green one?
1, 2, 3. And then go right underneath of it.
Okay, and where's the other 3 in the little 0?
Well, the
two,
the
three.
one you have to match is in that green. You got to match the green one before you can move on.
The one in the green, the match is on the last row on the end.
On the end, on the right hand side.
Yes,
On
the bottom
the,
right
yeah,
hand side.
right.
Now you
Yes.
can go.
Okay.
Now you can move on.
Good. So we got that one. So again, we're testing some games out together. That one was a little silly to me, but that's okay. All right. So let's try another one. Which one sounds good to you all? Which one do you all like? Yeah, we're all just
Attention
learning this
training.
together.
Attention training. The first one on the left.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Attention.
Yes, some of these I'm just noticing here it does say pro, so yes, make sure you pick one that doesn't have the pro next to it. But yes, attention training. Tap the button pointing the same direction as the arrow in the center of the screen. Ignore the
Wait
other
a minute.
Yeah, tap the button
Ignore.
pointing the same direction as the arrow in the center of the screen. Ignore the other arrows. So our skills are attention to detail, speed, and ability to ignore competing information. So
Well,
let's
where's
test that.
the
Yeah,
tap
so
the
let's
button
so we
pointing
gotta
the
play.
same direction?
So we gotta play it to figure it out. So again, it says tap the button pointing the same direction as the arrow in the center. Ignore the other arrow. So let's see. So let's start. Which way is the center arrow pointing?
Up.
Up.
Okay, so it would be the third one at the bottom, right? Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you got that.
So the center arrow. So which way is the center arrow pointing?
Turning right.
The right.
Mm-hmm. The center arrow, right?
To the right.
Center. Mm-hmm.
To the left.
Uh-huh. That's yeah.
To the left.
Going down.
Down.
Yeah.
Down in the middle.
Yep. The center arrow pointing which way? So it's going down.
Down.
Well, I'm
Right.
looking at.
Yeah, because it's the center arrow. Which way is it pointing? It's pointing
Right.
To the right.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Down.
I see. I hear you, Jeremy. You got it real fast. I love it.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everyone,
Up.
please unmute.
Up.
Want everyone to participate. You are all able to participate. Yes.
Down. Up. Left.
Left.
Uh-huh.
Right. Up. Up.
Yep, the center one. Center
Left.
one.
Left.
Down.
Down.
Yeah, again, we got over 30 people on, so I want you all to unmute and share, please.
Down.
We love to hear from you.
Up.
Up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Up.
Left.
Left.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Up.
Up.
Yes.
Left.
Left.
Down.
Right.
Right.
Yay!
Oh look, so we got 20, yeah. So we were just learning it together, but yes, think that was good. It's like multiple choice. You have to look, you have to see which ones are not the ones you want, like the answers, all that good stuff. So yes, good. I love that, you guys. Okay, so I think we're gonna go real quick back to our other apps, but who's gonna download that app? Hope you guys enjoyed. Who's gonna download it? Any quick thoughts?
Washington, D.C.
Any thoughts on the game? Hope you
Yeah,
guys
that
enjoyed.
exercise your brain.
Already downloaded,
yeah.
Miss Alex.
I know that's right, Miss Doris.
Good thinking.
Yeah, it makes you think. So with all different ones, and I like the selection, so I don't mind if there's a few that are a little confusing, but when you're confused or when you see something new, that's good because hey, something new. Your brain, you're working that brain, and the next time you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, and it won't be as hard. So thank you all so much. That was so fun. Next, we're gonna watch a video on some myths and misconceptions when it comes to Alzheimer's disease. Again, I hope you guys enjoy. and learn something new. This is from Good Morning America.
Alzheimer's is a type of disease in the brain that most often occurs as we get older. It's caused by the death of nerve cells due to the presence of plaques outside the nerve cells and tangles within the nerve cells that ultimately lead to fewer connections between our neural networks, and that causes us to have dysfunction, including trouble with our memory, trouble with language sometimes, trouble with functioning.
Yeah, isn't that the question that I kind of answered, but not, not as thoroughly as they're going to do? Is Alzheimer's the same as dementia? That's a great question.
Alzheimer's is a type of dementia, and it's caused by a particular pathology, which is different from other pathologies that can cause dementia. Alzheimer's is always genetic is a myth. Most Alzheimer's is not genetic. Most Alzheimer's occurs in people who don't have a family history of Alzheimer's disease. Especially Alzheimer's later in life, Alzheimer's after the age of 65, is due to a multitude of different factors, including genetics, our environment, our diet, exercising, how much we engage our brain. All those play a huge role in Alzheimer's disease.
That's an interesting one. Most Alzheimer's is not genetic, is due to a multitude of different factors. But again, they mentioned diet, exercise, your environment, genetics too. But a lot of things we can, do. That's so interesting.
Is Alzheimer's disease fatal? I would say no. I would say Alzheimer's is not a fatal disease. Some people with Alzheimer's can develop a pneumonia or an infection that can be fatal, but most people with Alzheimer's do not die from it. Does Alzheimer's affect a certain age group? The answer is yes. The older you are, the more likely you are to get Alzheimer's disease. However, very young people can get it as well, but it's rare. You can start preventing Alzheimer's in your 30s and 40s by embracing a good lifestyle, but it's much more common when you get older. Are there treatments to cure Alzheimer's? There are no treatments to cure Alzheimer's. That is a myth. We do have a lot of treatments that are effective in keeping people with Alzheimer's stable over time and prevent or slow deterioration. There's absolutely nothing that we have available right now to cure Alzheimer's disease. Maybe down the road, but not right now. Can Alzheimer's be caused by using aluminum utensils, dental implants, flu shots? The answer is absolutely not. None of these things have really been shown to be associated with Alzheimer's disease. What has been shown to be associated with Alzheimer's is heart disease, poor eating choices, poor lifestyle choices that increase your risk for heart disease and other problems. One big myth about Alzheimer's is that there's nothing you can do about it, that it's just genetic and you might as well forget about it. And the answer is no. 60 to 70% of cases of late onset Alzheimer's can be prevented by simple changes in your lifestyle. And that includes good sleep, eating well, making sure you control risk factors like heart disease, making sure you're wearing your hearing aids, and interacting and socializing. All those things will help to prevent Alzheimer's in 60% of cases.
Wow, I really enjoyed that video. I learned so much even from those. And time and time again, lifestyle choices, good diet, good exercise, staying engaged socially, everything has a part in keeping you healthy. Any quick thoughts on this video? Quick thoughts. You can unmute yourself. Anything new that you learned? Anything quick you want to share?
I do know that that what she was saying, there are a lot of misconceptions, and you might even get a doctor that has some misconceptions. But you have to keep looking at stuff, reading up on stuff, and interacting with the person. um, having conversations, word games, even playing cards, different little things, activities. And it's a rough program.
Yeah, you gotta stay engaged. Thank you so much, Anne.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So yes, again, make sure, I hope you wrote some of those down, or for those watching on YouTube, definitely share some of those.
I
Thank you
think
so
that
much.
the iPad program helps us to be engaged with each
Mhm.
other and engages our minds. We meet, often. And, if you come on often enough, that can help you to prevent Alzheimer's or to help you with it.
Oh, yes, gentlemen, that's our whole shtick over here, is of all that lifelong learning and being engaged, and isolation is not good for anybody, especially seniors, but for anyone. So I'm glad our program is kind of plays a big part in that. I know it's for myself, and for even our providers as well, is definitely giving them an outlet, and we get to talk to each other just like this. So thank you so much for bringing that up, Jaron. I agree. Thank you. So I'm going to go to DACL's website here really quick. I'm going to share this link in the chat too. But as we know, again, DACL, they help out with many different things when it comes to seniors and older adults and people living with disabilities. So they have a lot of different services. So if you have any need, or in regards to dementias and Alzheimer's for yourself or others, make sure you give DAPL a call, and they can guide you in the right place, as one of their resources. We learned about Iona. They've done a lot with, dementia, memory loss, things of that nature. Any contact is great, because that allows you to get the help, or someone else to get the help as they need. So if you are interested in any of these, you can learn more just by calling DAPL. So citywide money management program. So those with memory loss, managing their bills, dementia navigators, or allows those folks to be linked to resources, education, managing dementia, caregiver lounge at the GNJ Senior Daycare Center, great facility, by the way. They also have wellness activities and meditation for caregivers. So Cloud Memory, some of you have been on Cloud Memory, and we've talked about it. It's great, social club, stigma-free, that allows different activities. So I'm going to share this link here in the chat, but if you or someone else are interested in any of these services, please give them a call, and I know they're more than happy to assist. And the more that you use the resources here in DC, the more, likely they're able to stay on and stick around for years on end. So let's make sure to take advantage of these different DC resources, so yourselves and everyone can take advantage of those, right, for as long as possible. Okay, so hope some of these piqued your interest. And then, of course, we have the Alzheimer's Association here in DC for you to take advantage. And I'm going to go to it here in Safari. I usually would have it linked right there, but that's okay. I'm going to flex some Safari skills. Okay, so I'm going to go in Safari, and I'm going to type in Alzheimer's Association. Again, your spelling doesn't have to be 100% perfect. That's okay. And the link just came up right here. So alz.org. Pretty simple. Caller 24/7 helpline. So there's the helpline for them as well. They're leading the way to end Alzheimer's and all their dementia. We've had them on our programs before. They have different articles. So look, 10 healthy habits for your brain. Look, I love it. Even this article right here is great, right? Challenging your mind, staying in school or education, get moving, right? So make sure you do exercise, right? Protecting your head, right? Our brains. The heads are our home to our brains. Please, being smoke-free, controlling your blood pressure is important, right? For brain health, managing diabetes, eating right, maintaining a healthy weight, sleeping well, right? So we talked about a lot of this today. We'll talk about sleep tomorrow. So I'm so just happy that, coincidences, we're going to be talking a lot about sleep tomorrow. I look forward to that. Diet, exercise, managing symptoms, challenging your mind. So great. So make sure you check out this link here as well. And they're located yeah, they have the DC organization, the National Capital Area Chapter. Yes, this is a great website to take advantage of. Okay. All right, our next app is a puzzle and crime game, So if you like SVU or any of those crime shows, what do I like? I like Monk. My friend put me onto that show, so I like that show. But if you like any of
Oh,
those
that's my
shows,
show too, Alex. I love Monk.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the App Store here. Yeah, that was a good show. And I'm going to go ahead and go in the search bar and type in, again, the name or type of app that you want to download. So again, you see I typed in just Primo, however you say it, and then the rest of it popped up and you can tap on it or type it out, however it works out for you. So it's right here at the top right-hand side, Stories, Puzzle, and Crime. I'm going to hit the share button and copy the link. Again, we learned how to copy and then paste. Right? So I'm going to go to the chat here in Zoom, tap where so that way the cursor is up, and tap the cursor once and hitting paste. That's how you paste a link that you copied. Okay, so there's the link. And when you tap on it, it takes you straight to the link here in the App Store. Thank you all so much. And make sure you get it, download it, and open it. So let's see what this game has to offer. So got a few minutes for this one. It's connecting. All right. So different apps, different like sign-ins. This one requires a sign-in. So you could do it with Apple. And then we haven't talked about the Game Center too much, but it's basically like the social hub for games. You can do friends. I may do a talk about that in a future session too. But either way, I'll do sign in with Apple. Let me do that. Okay. Either way, it's associated with your Apple account. So again, make sure you follow the prompts. That way you can, make sure that way you get into the game. Okay. So it's connecting. Again, following the prompts, and let's play. So there are different stories. Okay. That occurred. We did play this before a little bit, so we've already been exposed to a little bit of the story. Okay, so let's actually go back to the beginning. So we can do that, which is great. So let's go back to corpse. Okay, let's play. So this is our briefing. So this is how you play. So this is called a nonogram. Okay, so we played this before, and it can take some getting used to, but for those that remember, let's see if we can do it. So a nonogram, you're supposed to fill in the spots based on the numbers on each side. So the easiest one is 5, okay? Because you can put 5 in a row. So look at all the 5s, right? You have this 5, you have this 5. So you can hold and drag your finger, right? That's how you can mark your sections, okay? And then we have this 5 right here. So if it's a single number, that means it has to be next to each other. So like the second column, the 2, the spot could either be above the blue or below the blue in that column. So you see this spot right here, then the block could be here, right? Or it could be here. 3, so the blocks could be here, or maybe it could be like this. So I hope that's making sense. So look, on the left-hand side, you have 2 numbers. So that means you have to have a space, at least one space in between the sections. So you see 2, 1. Well, we already have 1 at the end. So there has to be a space. So it can't be here, but it has to be here. Okay, so you see when we complete a row or column, it kind of grays out. Okay, so because it's not here, this 3, the mark has to be here. Now we're done. Looking at the left-hand side, we have 1, then the 2. So we have 1. Okay, we already done with this column, right? We can't put anything here, right? This column is done, right? So we only have one option. 1. This is 1, 2. Do you see the 1, 2, everyone? and then the 1, 3. So for these two columns right here, I mean rows, where does the last two slots go? Again, we're all learning this together. Where do the last two, or do we pick this one? Do we pick this one, or these two, or this one? Which do we pick?
I don't know how to play this. I'm lost.
That's okay. Say that again, Louise.
I was thinking about the 4.
So that means it's 4 all together. So if they have to be all together, which one does it have to be?
Wow.
And takers?
Or the 3.
Yeah, so where do we choose? Do we choose it here? Do we choose these two? Or do we choose this one?
I see. You choose the 4 going down.
So which of these do we pick?
Will you choose the 4, then 3, 1, 3, 1?
Well, yeah, we have to complete the puzzle, right? But I'm asking which do we pick to complete? Because we did these 5, right? These 5, this 5 is done because we filled in all those slots. So which slots do we pick? Which ones do you want me to tap, Geraldine?
Right.
Well, tap this.
So what's this? Which?
Oh, you can't see me. Okay, tap 4.
So I'm tapping the numbers, okay?
Oh no, okay. I don't know. I took a guess, but I'm wrong.
Tap the 5. Tap the 5.
That was
So this is a very
okay.
I love this game because it definitely is a different style of game.
Okay. Okay. Can you take the third row, the 2 under there, and
Yeah.
and the 2 under the next row.
Okay. So look. So we did 2, 1, right? We have 2 here, and then we have the 1 here. 5. Again, when there's 2 blocks, 2 numbers next to each other, there has to be a space. So if you have the 1 here, do we pick this slot or do we pick the one on the end?
Pick the 5. Pick the top row.
Pick the one on the end.
Yes, pick the one on the end, right? 1, 3, right? 1, then we have a space, and then we have the 3. Does that make sense to you guys?
Right. Yes.
So same thing, 1, 3. Which one do we pick on this row?
The 5.
The 2 and the
So we're the white parts. Which ones do we see? If we have 1 here.
Oh, the 3.
So do we pick this one or this one?
The one on the end.
Yes, the one on the end. Why? Because we need 1, a space, and 3, and then we need 4, right? So we already, so you could have used either clue, and that way it's right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's okay, you guys. We're all in this together, all right? So which one's the easiest ones to do for this one?
Oh.
Which one's
1.
No.
5.
Why is it 5?
Because you got 5
up.
Yes, so
5 all
5
the way down again.
Yeah, so you see how you can just tap each one. I'm just sliding just to make it easier for your hand, right? But do you see why those are the easiest to do?
Yeah.
Right.
It's only 5 slots, okay? So another hint. So some of these only have 1 combination, right? So, or 1 possible solution. So for example, you all see this 1 and the 3, the last column. It has to be 1 and then these 3 because there has to be a space. If there's 2 numbers next to each other, there has to be a space. There's no other way to have 1 space, then a space, and then 3 unless right? Does that make sense to you guys now?
Okay, I'm getting it.
So look, so let's do the first row. So 1, 3. Does this space go here? Do we choose this one or do we choose this one?
That one. Next to the last.
Next to the last, the 4th one on the first row, because we need 1 and then 3, right? You see, we have to do. There's no other way to do 1 and a 3. So some of the combinations, like look. Okay, let's look at the 3rd row. Which one do we pick? This one or do we pick this one?
Pick under the 1, the 3 coming down. Under the 1, 2 ones. Take those 3.
So you saying the third one on the second column?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, you got to say it like that. Otherwise, I don't know where it is. But you see why we had to 3 space and a 1. There's only one combination. There's only one way to make it 3 space and then a 1, right? You see that was the wrong one anyway. So just to show you how it works. So okay, 4th row, 1 and a 3. The left spot or the right spot? Y'all see the 1 and the 3 on the 4th row? The left spot or the right one?
The 3. The left 3.
Why do you pick left for this one, Gracie?
I don't know, just trying to let my brain see if this makes sense.
Okay, but yeah, so you got to think why. So we have a 1 and a 3, so that means we need 1, then a space, and then 3. So if we put it here, how is there going to be a space?
Okay.
Right? So it has to be this one. 1, you see the 1 and then the 3 on the row, right? So we have, yes. So for the last row, do we choose this one or this one? The left one or the right one?
The left one.
3.
Yeah, because we need 3 in a row, a space, and a 1, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. I know it really does work your brain.
Yes, it does.
That one is a brain beater.
Yes. So you have to just think of it. You have to
need
think
a
of
drink
possibilities.
after that.
Trust me, when I was playing this when I was like 6 or 7 or 8, I was like, what do these numbers mean? But you have to try, and you see it lets you know when you're not wrong, but it lets you know when you may have made a mistake, and that way you get to learn for the next time, right? So so you're doing good, you guys. So look, let's do one more of this, okay?
Yeah,
so they have different puzzles. There's just one of these that they offer. So which one's the easiest to do?
5.
Damn.
What does that mean? What does the 5 mean?
You go
I don't know what it means.
Well, look, it's a 5 by 5, right? Box.
Yeah.
So that means 5. That means there's only 5 in each. So you got to think of it. There's a 5 by 5 grid. Okay, that's why 5 is easiest, because 5 is the whole line.
Grid.
See?
And the end one.
And then it's 5 across too.
Yes.
And then to go 5 across.
If you have to do this for a time thing or whatever, you have to think like that. Which ones are the easiest to figure out first, right? So 5. Yes. Okay. So start the highest numbers first and then go down. So what's the next highest number?
4.
Okay. So where do
4, yeah.
Which ones do we pick?
The bottom one.
So which white slots do we pick? So we're looking at 4, right? This row.
So we get all the white spots. All the white spots. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do we this one or this one and this one or these 2?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I get it from you.
So 4, that's just one number, right? That means they have to be connected to each other, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if they have to be connected, which 2 do we already have 2, right? Yeah. So you see.
I see those. So these 2 over to the right.
Take the 2 on the left at the bottom.
With 2 on the right. 2 on the right.
Yeah, so it's the difference between the single numbers and the double numbers, okay? So for this 4 at the bottom, do we choose this one? Do we choose these 2? What do we do?
Those 2 together.
The 2 together.
Because we need 4 in a row, right? So think the number 4 in a row, right? So this is so if you look, the first one, this is 2 in a row, a space, and a 2 in a row. So which 2 do we have to pick for the first row? Which 2 do we have to pick?
The 2 on the right.
The right.
So we need. Okay, so which one's on the first row?
On the 2 that are white.
The 2 to the left.
No.
Two to the right.
There's it's to the right.
Okay,
I
so
would pick the two
so
to
we
the
need
right.
yeah, so we need remember 2 in a row and then space 2 in a row. How do we do that? So we have the first one, the third one, and the fourth one in a row. Which 2 do we pick?
We'll pick the
first
2 on the right and then the 2 going down.
So we're not concerned about down right now. We're just doing this row.
Cross.
Oh, well.
Yes, yes, we're looking at this row. So which of these do we pick?
The 2 on the right on the first.
So okay, so look, here's a hint. So let's do this. Yes, so we did the second 2. Okay, we have the space. So which one do we need to hit?
Oh, the one on the left. They're in.
The first one on the first row, right?
First one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm gonna know what y'all are talking about. Okay, so
The first one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so you see how that made sense?
That's hard.
I know 2 in a row, then a space, and then a 2, right?
Oh boy.
That's why I did that.
Oh,
Okay,
that's a
so
good one to practice.
so here's our last one, you guys. You guys are gonna kill it. Which ones do we do first?
The 5.
Going down.
All the 5's going down.
Well,
Yeah.
so don't think of 5
2
in a
bottom
row.
and the 2
So it's
right.
in a row. So it's in a row. So yes.
In a
yeah.
row.
Down. 2 5's
Five
going
in a row.
down.
Another
And the
5.
5's
Okay.
going across.
Yes. Okay.
So.
All right.
Okay.
So which ones? So yes. Remember, if it's just one number for the row, they have to be connected. So which one's the easiest one next?
4.
Yeah, 4. Remember, we're going high to low. So right. So which one on this row do we pick?
4.
So it's not the number. Which of the white slots? We need 4 in a row.
Oh.
So how do we do it in a row? We already have 2 right here.
So you put the other 2, the second space and the third space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see why we?
Oh, okay. I'm getting this now.
Okay.
Okay. So look at this. So we have 2. We only need to do 1 more to finish the puzzle. So we have 1 and a 2 for both the row and the column. So what does that mean? Which one do we click to finish the puzzle?
I say we get the 2.
So it's not the number. I'm not asking for the number. Which of the white slots?
White spots.
The first one on the
First one.
left.
Because look, we need a 1
One.
and at least one space,
Okay,
and then a 2.
yeah.
So we have 2 here, and then it could go here. It could go. It can't go in the third one, right? It can't go here because we already finished the row. But look here, we have 1. Then we have at least 1 space, and then 2. Just because there's a space doesn't mean it can just be, 1. It could be 2 spaces away. You see what I'm saying? We finished this column is done. All the column and row are done except for this. So it has to be this one right here. Does that make sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. No, I heard
Wow.
y'all did great.
Oh my God, he almost gave me all
You
hands.
gotta practice that one some more.
Yeah, you got to
Definitely.
practice. So make sure you check that link out. Make sure you I hope you downloaded it while we were chatting. And try it on your own. I just took a few attempts and tries on my own, and then I had the aha moment too. I was like, oh, that's a space. Oh, it doesn't have to be 2 spaces, right? So it really does work your brain, and it's I played a lot of those as a kid, so it definitely brings back memories. So there's a lot to this app. We didn't watch any of the dialogue, but there's different chapters. There's a crime story going on, puzzle. So it's really quite an interesting app. So who's gonna download it? Who's gonna check it out?
Okay.
That's too hard.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's a good one because it is too hard.
Yeah, that's the one you need because
you gotta try it out. So make sure you guys try it out, okay? And see what happens. But I really enjoy those. I mean, I'm a math person, I'm a numbers person, so I really like that. But it really, it forces you to think, hey, problem solving, what can you do versus what you can't do, and the clues, right? It works all different parts of your brain. So that's a good one. I recommend you check it out.
Yeah.
All right, so for our last app for today, before we do, we're going to go to just read some information and share some there's a lot on official website, right? This is the National Institute on Aging. There's a whole article here on cognitive health in older adults. There are so many different things to learn about brain health. So I recommend you check this out. I'll copy it and paste it in a second. Mainly, brain health refers to, well, how a person's brain functions across several areas. So things like cognitive health, how well you think, learn, remember, motor function, make movements, emotional function, both pleasant and unpleasant emotions, tactile function. So there's responses to different changes of sensory functions, right? So our brains, of course, have everything to do with our existence. So we have to take care of it, just as we would take care of any part of our body, but especially our brain. So things they go into different things, which I recommend you read on your own, of course. But health screenings, health, managing your health problems that we some of us unfortunately deal with, but we have to manage those. Limit use of alcohol, quit smoking, be mindful of your diet, right? Making sure you get your vitamins, fiber, getting enough sleep, managing high blood pressure, right? We don't want any strokes or any of those things going on. Among other things, clots, right? That's not good. We don't want to deal with that, right? Heart disease may also be linked to cognitive health. So just like the video stated, right, for the myths, higher levels of cardiovascular risk factors such as BMI, blood sugar, blood pressure were associated with worse
You're
health.
still not understanding me.
Right?
You're mad at me for some.
Okay, so we got to keep in mind if you're muted or not. Okay, you guys? Thank you so much. Blood sugar and systolic blood pressure were associated with worse cognitive health. Obesity may be associated with an increased risk for developing dementia. Taking care of better care of the overall heart health can help protect your brain and your heart. Wow. So again, everything in the video is being confirmed by this. Eat healthy foods, be physically active. Federal guidelines recommend that all adults get at least 150 minutes of physical activity each week. Okay, so just 150 minutes each week, 2 hours, right? Just a week, right? So walking is a good start, but definitely take advantage of a lot of exercise programs, whether virtual or in person, that are here in DC. There's a ton of those, right? Again, for those, call DACL, please. Keep your mind engaged. Yes, so cognitive training, what we're doing on our calls, right? Social activities, yes. A Zoom is great, but also using your devices to meet folks in person. Addressing physical, mental health challenges, right? Medicines, you have to, it's really important if your doctor prescribes you medicine to take it, but you have to, just be aware how it may affect it, or talk to your doctor, or let them know that what's going on, or ask questions, right? When you get a medication, how can this affect this or that, right? So, so important. I really recommend that you guys check this video out. And they also include some other information. So McKnight Brain Research Foundation and their website, Alzheimer's Association, alzheimers.gov, their Dementia's Educational Referral Center. I mean, there's a lot of great things here in this article. So I hope you all check it out, okay? I'm gonna hit that link. I'm gonna copy it for you all. Go back to Zoom. Thank you all so much. All right, and then our other
Alex, would you do me
for
a
you guys
favor?
today?
Alex.
Yes.
I was trying to get into the app for the link you put in, and I couldn't do it. The only way, so I thought I would take a screenshot. I don't know if you want to go backwards though. Of all the different ones that we can get on. If you
Well,
can.
yes, if you go to the App Store, you can type the name in. I'll go back to the different names, but if you check out our daily email, they should all be located in there too. So that last one was called Cremo's Stories.
Yeah, I got a screenshot of that from what the address you put in the chat.
Yeah, the links are all in the chat, so make sure you check out the chat, okay?
Okay.
If you tap on the link, it'll take you right there, okay? All right, everyone, and our last link is brain games to prevent dementia. So, as we know, we love to play a lot of different games, and it's really important to use our brains so that way, just like with our other muscles, we don't use it, we lose it. So, Things like word games, right? They're crossword puzzles, word searches, missing words, word building. So many different kinds of word games, like late life crosswords, participation, independent of education. Again, we got to keep in mind if you're muted or not, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, it was associated with delayed onset of memory decline in persons who develop dementia. So even those that already were diagnosed with dementia just by playing word games will delay the onset of those symptoms. Board games, video, online, electronic games. So yeah, the App Store, there's over 2 million apps in the App Store. I would say half of those are games, but it could be more, it could be, a little less, but there are so many different kinds of games that help out with your brain. So it's not just, playing a game for entertainment. Yes, you entertain, having fun, but so many games help out with so many different other aspects like math and reading and concentration and retention and memory, right? I love card games myself, like trading card games or, regular, 2 through ace, there's so many different kinds of games that help out. So I do math every day. I read every day. Just by playing the games and learning different things, right? You learn a lot about pop culture and what's going on. And
who's calling?
So I love different games and their advantages. So yes, brain games definitely help out with. Okay, again, you all have to keep in mind if you're muted or not. If you're on the phone, you have to make sure you see if you are muted or not, okay? I really appreciate it, right? Thank you so much. Our last game or app for today is Brain Games, Words, and Numbers. So we just learned about brain games, so we're gonna play some brain games. So there are 2 modes, words and numbers. Words, we use those every day, so make sure you take advantage of those, okay? So we're gonna go to the App Store like we did before, and we are going to search. Again, you can search for anything, right? So go to the App Store on your device, do it while I'm doing it here, right? Hit your home button, go to the App Store and download it. Or you can go to the, again, our daily email and look it up through there, or you can check out the links in the chat. So either way is fine, okay? So brain games, words, and numbers. There are so many different brain games. So I have to go back to my search and kind of edit that. Brain games, word, and numbers. Sometimes you do have to be a little specific, but that's okay. And it's right here on the right-hand side. Brain games, words, and numbers. Okay. I'm going to copy the link and share it with you all. Again, I just inputted those links that we've been talking about and also the links to the apps. All right. So let's go into this app. And again, we have about 25, 30 folks on. Looking forward to hearing a lot of you and everyone to share. Thank you so much. Okay, make sure you follow the prompts. And there you go, 100 words, 200 words, or numbers. So let's start off with the numbers and then we'll go on to the words. But this is how you play. So numbers, new game. Okay, so we have to select 2 numbers that add up to the target. So which, using the grid. So picking any 2 numbers from the grid. So what 2 numbers add up to 2?
1 and 1.
Mm-hmm. 1 and 1. Okay. 1 and 1. 2. How do I say this? Yes. Tap on adjacent.
3.
Oh yes, sorry. I forgot how to confirm it. So you have to just make sure you hold and do it. So you could do diagonal too, right? So just keep that in mind. You can make it diagonal, but they have to be next to each other. So we have,
okay.
Yep, 9.
5 and 4.
So I think we need 4. So what?
2 and 2 on the top row.
Yeah. So we could do this, or we could do this. Yeah. So look, the target's at the top or above. So 5.
3 and 2 at the top.
Yeah, you could do 3 and 2, or you could do 4 and 1. Any of those combinations work. So let's keep going.
12 and I don't know.
So 6. The target is 6.
4 and 2 at the top row.
Mm-hmm. Again, please, everyone unmute and share. I want you to participate. Okay, this is how we learn, and of course, have fun together. So please unmute and share.
Okay.
Okay, how do we get 7? That's the target. How do we get 7?
4 and 3 at the top.
So they have to be next.
They have to be
5 and 2.
5 and
they
2.
have to be next to each other. Good. So we could do the diagonal or the side, doesn't matter. Okay. Again, they have to be side by side or diagonal. Okay.
Okay, I got you now.
Again, any takers? Again, you can unmute and share.
6 and 2 over there on the right hand side.
Yes, and diagonally. That's good.
Diagonal. 5 and 4 across.
Or 6 and 3, or yeah. There's again. There's so many different options. And please unmute and share, you guys.
5 and 5.
5 and 5, and diagonal too.
9 and 1.
11.
Yeah, I said the 5 and the 6. Yeah, 5 and 6. Good job. We got 12.
And it's 9 and 1.
So that 9 and 1 is what? And that's 10, right? We need 12.
That's
9 and 3.
7 and 5.
Yes.
Diagonal.
7 and 5, 9 and 3. Yeah, I see those. Good job. 13.
10 and 3.
Okay, so again, they have to be next to each other, and they are. So 10 and 3. Wonderful job.
All right now.
Yes, you got, that's why we're doing this together, because we
9 and 4.
I was like, where is that?
No, we're on 14.
It's right there.
Okay.
9 and 5.
9 and 5 is 14.
7 and okay. 9 and 6. Wait, hang on.
12.
9 and 6.
Yeah,
here.
9 and 6 works. Good. Yes. Yeah, we need 16.
Now you gotta know how to add.
Of course. That's what this game is for. So how do we make 16?
9 and 7.
Yeah, 9 and 7. So we could do this or diagonal. Either way, wonderful job. 17.
10 and 7.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. I was waiting for that. Good job. 18.
9 and 9.
9.
6 and 12.
Yeah, 6 and 12 works as well. Love it.
And you gotta get 20 now.
Well, it's 19.
12 and 7.
19.
12 and 7.
Yeah, 12 and 7 or 10 and 9 or wow, yeah. So that's how basically this goes. You gotta, the puzzle stays the same, but you just gotta think what adds to what. It's so important. I mean, I deal with money every day, right? And we all deal with money daily life. We have to just be able to easily think about the adding so we can think about more about what we're using it for versus the actual adding, right? So, just having those skills and those, mental math skills and those thinking skills is so important, not just for the game, but for your daily life, okay? So I hope that, it really makes you think. You have to know where to go and then using your fingers. So you're doing that hand-eye coordination. You can make a game, who did it faster, right? If you play this with a friend, right? So just different ways you can go about it. So that was the numbers section. That was really fun. You all killed that. So now let's do the words. So how do we play this one? How do we play? Find 100 words.
Wow. 100 words.
So, okay, it has to be 3 letters or more. If I just do TO, it says less than 3 letters. So we need at least 3 letters for each word. But you could do a diagonal. So let me do an example. Let me see. HIT. Okay, hit. You see how or hot. It's right there. Cot. COT. Right? Hit. PIT. You see how I'm going? Or you could do
ERA. ERA.
Huh?
ERA. Are you still on 3 letters?
Or look, eras. You could do eras. So you see, yes. So the bigger the word, the even better.
PAL. Can you go backwards?
Yep. How? Yep. How or lap.
Again.
Always good to
Okay,
go
we're not
backwards.
just stuck to 3. We can do more letters.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can. Yeah,
okay,
you
okay,
see,
okay.
we did eras, right? So
Okay.
You can do DEN going
Yeah,
backwards.
yep, Dan, that's fine. Great.
RAP.
RAP, yep,
Coming
rap.
down.
Rap, yeah. I mean, there's any words as long as it's the word.
ERA
So
going across at the bottom.
look at all the ones that we did already. They're on the left hand.
Oh, okay, you did ERA.
So you got make sure you all take a look at the whole screen. You have to use the whole screen to figure out what you did and what you haven't done.
Okay. Pod,
MAS.
POD, pod.
Oh yeah, pod. I see that. Good.
MAS.
If that's a word, yep. MAS.
Tier,
Yep.
TIER.
Yeah, tire. That's good.
And
Tire.
also tier, TIER is
Yeah,
tier.
tier. That's a good one. I
Stop
hear
putting
you.
front in here. Y'all get up, son it.
Oh, okay. I hope everything's okay. Again, you all got to keep in mind, okay? Thank you so much. Any others?
Sam, SAM.
Yeah, okay, that's not a word. Okay, that's fine.
That's the name.
Yeah, well, and they're looking for different words.
HER.
Oh, her? Yes, but that was a good stepping stone, Miss Gracie, because look, Sam, okay, we can't do Sam, but we could do
HIER.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good one, slam.
ICRIM.
Okay, yeah, that's one. You could do that. Or yeah, knits. That makes
I see attic,
ATIC. ATTIC.
No, it's just two T's. Oh, okay.
Oh, again, doesn't have to be 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words. Again, you could go like, not this, but you could really be creative on how you do it, right? So look, rail.
RIM.
DATE.
Might.
DATE. Date.
Date. Oh, sorry.
Left,
I keep hitting
right,
the at the
down.
bottom. There's the date.
MIRE.
Sorry, just going through. Okay, good. Yeah, that's a word. Mire. So we've gone 20 words.
What about MARE? Is that up
Yeah,
there?
mare. Yeah, mare. That's a word. That makes me think of ram, like the animal, or
MALE.
yeah, male. Yeah, male. Look, MALE. Good. You can do it.
ZIT. Zit.
Yeah. Yeah. ZIT. Good.
Yeah, I think that's a word.
That's you did it.
No, NOPE.
NO. So there's NOPE. Good.
TIC. Tick. Or is it a K?
Oh yeah, you could do tick. Yep. You said nope. Okay, we could do dope, or I see even like rat or rate. So you see, you can make words out of the words you worked in, right?
Talc, TALC.
Say that again.
Talc, TALC.
Oh, Alex, I got one.
TALC.
Oh, let's see if this works. ORNATE.
Okay. ORNATE. Ornate. That's a great word, Miss. Good job. I love that. So as you can see, your goal is to get 100 words out of this grid. So,
Atlas. ALT.
Okay.
I had it in my head.
Oh, I see where you're going. There's you see where that dilemma is at.
Yeah. MINT. Mint.
Okay,
Yeah.
so again, it has to be next to each other. So again, look, it has to be next. I can't do mint because there's MI and then the N's over there, right? So it has to be connected. So everything we've done, it's connected, right?
What about air?
Let's try this one. Oh, that's a good one, drape.
So it has to be connected.
SLEPT. Slept.
Okay, we're gonna end it right there, you guys, because we're a third of the way there. But wow, isn't that amazing?
That is
You
amazing.
all
It
don't
was
Yes, yes, it
amazing.
is.
You
uh-huh.
had
You
a
guys
lot
are
of
so smart.
words.
So you don't ever doubt yourself, right? Someone said, "Oh, it's too hard," and I'm like, "Oh no! You just gotta keep going at it." And the more you do something, the more familiar, the more
Yeah.
comfortable, and the more you'll kind of innovate, right? So I loved at the end, you guys were going for all the diagonals and all the things that I would have not thought of for many of the words. So that's why we did it together. So good job, you guys. Are you guys gonna download this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you get you could save.
Yes.
Yes, I hit that pause right there, but you could save and at any point. But it's again a pretty simple game, words and numbers, maybe a few minutes a day for this one, or we've gone over so many apps together, but this is just a quick and easy example of those. But of course, there are other games that this developer has made, so you could check those out, or even this one, 200 words. That sounds amazing. To find 200 words, that's definitely a fun activity that you guys could do, with others. And yeah. So thank you all so much. Today has been so fun. You guys are so smart. All right, so let's have our overview and discussion. So if you'd like to raise your hand, you can, but I'm gonna go over the questions first, and then we'll quickly just discuss our session today. But I'm looking at the time. Whoa, time flies and having fun. So what is one new fact that you learned today? What was your favorite part of today's session? What app or apps are you interested in trying out? And why is learning about Alzheimer's important, for yourself, for others, etc.? So you can raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and quickly share any thoughts on the session today. But it was so fun, and this was in honor of World Brain Day. We got to take care of our brains, right, and ourselves. We got to do that before we take care of anyone else, right? We have to take care of ourselves and our brains, and we have to know what to do in order to keep that brain health and keep those connections and those neurons there, all that good stuff, by having good lifestyle choices, diet, exercise, social activities, cognitive activities such as these apps. So it was really fun today. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see we have two hands, but Geraldine, you wanted to share something?
Oh, you said it. I was gonna say be mindful of your diet and exercise and work your brain, but you sort of summarized it.
Oh no, I thank you for sharing that. Make sure you keep sharing that message with others.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Geraldine. Miss Marie, you were unmuted anyway. So any thoughts on the session today?
How are you doing today?
Good.
Yes, the entire lesson was great. I learned a lot from the entire program. So thanks for presenting it.
Oh, my pleasure, Miss Marie. And hope you take advantage of some of these apps and have fun, and get to share with those that are around you.
Okay.
But you're doing that thing. Miss Marie. Thank you for participating, and just
okay.
know what you're doing. Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Alex.
Uh-huh.
I want to thank you because how this helped me was to see all the doors sites you can get onto to learn about Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's has definitely affected my family, and I just want to be more aware as a person who is already 80 years old. And my mother died, Alzheimer's, 95 years old. I had 6 siblings, and my youngest sibling had Alzheimer's when she died. Now, my second youngest brother is reported to have dementia going into Alzheimer's. So, well, one thing I do, I don't plan on, nobody plans on going that route. But, I pray that I have the mind of Christ, and I pray over my body and my brain. But this has really been helpful to learn the things that you need to learn so that you can, first of all, take better care of yourself. I mean, when you're aware of stuff, the more aware you are, the more you can do to help yourself and to help others and to recognize. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you so much for the show today. I was really paying attention and learning a lot, and took some screenshots so I can.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Joy. I was so happy to see you come on, and just make sure you keep coming on our different sessions, and to help reduce that risk. But
Yeah, thank you.
I hope the best for you and your family, and I hope the things that you learned today you could share with them to help
Oh,
alleviate
yeah.
those things, but also just for yourself, and to know what to do for yourself today to
Yeah.
better yourself tomorrow and the future as well.
Thank you, Alex.
My pleasure. See you again.
Thank you.
And then how about you, Anne? Anyone else after? And then we'll be ending for today. But any quick thoughts for the session?
Well, the lady before me just covered what I was going to say, part of it. But I feel like I got a deeper understanding. I lost my brother in March from Alzheimer's, and it's hard watching people you love. And I'm determined that I am doing things that I think that will help me. So this, I love word games and puzzles and stuff. So this was really a overview and a lot to absorb and learn. This was a rough year. Two people I love dearly died from Alzheimer's, and so I learned a lot with what we did. But if I'd have known some of this, I might have been able to help Mary and Michael deal with this. But
well, you did what you did, and we as Brenda would say, not when you know better, you do better. But now that you can, you have those skills, and you have those, just the information on know what to do, and where to get help for someone, or for yourself. So don't think of it like that, right? This is not something that is not talked about every day. I mean, it should, but it should, just to bring that awareness, right? Just by you coming on and being aware, and looking at the information, it really does paint a bigger picture. So if you're in that situation again, you now know, hey, diet, exercise, making sure you take care of your brain health, being not socially isolated, taking part of these activities, and staying connected in this world. So I hope you share that message with others, if for yourself, and for anyone that may be also going through a challenge. So you got this, Anne. Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
I know you do. So just make sure you believe in yourself. Okay. Thank you so much, Anne.
Well,
and thank you, everyone. This was so fun, and so invigorating, and of course inspiring. Of course, for my friends too. I just want to make sure to tell them right now, hey, just just you got to use it to lose it, friend. Like it's especially with those that you love. You could be really serious and be like, hey, you really need to make this change. Or get someone, or ask for help for someone to get them to make certain changes, right? Because without change, and if going down the rabbit hole, there's no end, right? So just saying, I hope today's session helped you learn where to go, and what you can do, and how to help prevent or reduce the risk of attaining Alzheimer's through some simple lifestyle changes that that you should definitely get support and be applauded for. So you could have the best life. Other than that, make sure you all stay on for our poll at the end, and of course our chat. But it was a pleasure to present our session today. Make sure you view it on our channel. But let's all wish everyone a wonderful rest of our afternoon. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Everybody,
Alex.
Thank
everybody,
you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.